Now, so you don't go to AIT because you're 17, you're in high school. So you go back and you probably start school right back up after
Mhm.
that. So like you're talking about having your shaved head and your peers like looking at you like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
And you're like a not really an official soldier, but you've got your beret and all that stuff, and you got your uniform, and so you're back into the gosh. So you're back in you're a green phaser basically. So after if you go to basic training, there's a bunch of phases. You have white, red, white, blue phase, and that's before you go to basic. And then when you get out of basic, you're in what they call green phase because you have your greens now. You got your uniform. So you were in green phase from September to May of the following year.
It was August to July actually.
August, my goodness.
Yeah.
So that's a long time to be a green. Now I feel bad for all those kids in Green Bay. It's like they just go and they do the same stuff over and over every weekend, and the monotony of it all. Oh,
It
So
was
yeah, how was being a green phaser?
so it was like it was extra painful because right before I left, so I was there long enough that I saw like three different shift changes at RSP,
mhm.
and like
No.
yeah, like the army tried to, so the army started off having recruiters running it, and then they were like, hey, the recruiters are working a lot. Let's see if we can transition in like just NCOs from around the guard and have them run it and see how that works. And they did that for a little bit, and it was awesome. Like
Mhm.
not talking down on the recruiters, but they got a lot on their plates. When you got somebody that like their job is RSP, like I mean, we were going outside, we were running. They were doing like battle drills and stuff like that with us. They were walking us through like urban operations and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Nice.
We were taking apart and putting back together machine guns. We were going through like the laser the laser pointer that you or the
Yeah.
laser light that you put on your M4, all that stuff.
Just real quick, is this just the green phasers, or is this everybody,
This
including
was
the
This
ones
is
who haven't
yeah.
gone
The
this
yet?
was
green phasers are
everybody.
basically responsible
Cool.
for the kids that haven't gone yet. Like they're like we you set the example, or like
Yeah,
we set the example. So
yeah.
so that's what the green phasers. The green phasers are basically in charge, making sure all these other
I didn't
kids
go
aren't.
to the RSP long enough to
Yeah,
know.
you went one drill and then I had to stick it back, but yeah, that's what they do. They basically are responsible for. Dukin would have been responsible for all the kids who hadn't gone through, or pseudo responsible. It's like you've already been to basic, you know what it's all about. So, he gets to wear his uniform while they're walking around in civvies until they get back from green phase. So
And that felt good too. I was walking past them like
yeah,
I
that,
got my uniform.
and I like and the kids. I would actually I had no problem talking to any of the kids who had gone through. Like I'd be like, hey, tell me exactly what happened. Tell me verbatim what do I need to expect. And they 18-year-old kids or 17-year-old kids would just sit there and talk to a 30-year-old man. Just like, yeah, so we did this, and they
Mhm.
loved it because that's the thing. Like telling the stories about what their experiences were, they love it because it's just something that they don't get to do. It's something that especially for people who are non-military have non-military families, like it's theirs, so they get to explore it. So their eyes all lit up when I was asking about stuff. They loved it, man. So
Yeah, but like it was fun doing that, and it was like I was doing that before I went, like asking them like, what do I need to expect, that sort of thing, and we were doing all these cool drills and all that sort of stuff, and it wasn't death by PowerPoint. Go off to basic, come back, and it's back to being recruiters, back to death by PowerPoint, like literally, like
I'm sorry, that was good. Death by PowerPoint, that got
yeah,
me.
yeah, like, and they even said that too. They're like, this drill is going to be death by PowerPoint, and we're like, and it was just, you do PT, and then from 8 until like
three.
3, 4, it's just PowerPoints, just PowerPoints.
Yep.
So that was a painful year. But then I went to AIT.
Yeah. Okay. So explain this again. So as a young 17-year-old kid going, you join, you go to the RSP. They train you on how to be prepared for basic training. Dukin goes to basic training. He comes back. He's finishing up his, I guess, senior year at that point, right?
Yep.
Senior year of high school. And then after he finishes his senior year, that summer, they're sending him back to what we call AIT, Advanced Individual Training. So, and again, you're not technically a soldier until you complete AIT. So you complete basic training and you're like, I'm a soldier now. It's like, again, I told this same thing to Ivy. It's like, you're the Milli Vanilli of soldiers. You got your beret, and you've gone through the basic training environment. You're not a soldier until you get your advanced individual training. And a lot of people who've been on deployments, like, you're not a soldier until you've been on deployment, you know. So there's a lot. Like, and there's some soldiers who be like, you're not a soldier unless you've been to Ranger School. You know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that rivalry.